revision mode. We will not be taking up much theory or practical. Okay, we will not be having much new theory portion or practical portion during the next 3 weeks. We will be just revising and getting ready for merit exam. Okay, now we go on to the page layout menu. Page layout menu. Here, the menu is very similar to the menu page layout setting in MS Word, whereas they call it layout. In MS Word, they call it layout. Here we call it page layout. Okay. You just look at the themes. These themes can define different color schemes, color and font schemes for the spreadsheet. You choose anything. It's similar to the themes we have seen in um, PowerPoint. In PowerPoint, it allowed us to choose several font and color schemes. In Word, it has allowed us to choose several font and color styles. Similar to that, we will be having different styles for text and graphics when we choose a different theme. Or you can customize the colors alone. Instead of choosing a new theme, you can customize the colors alone using one option. Then font alone using another option. I choose a large font. Fonts alone. I would like to choose some bold font. This one, Arial Black. And the text will become very large. Then effects. Whereas we do not normally use effects in MS Excel. Because Excel is not a presentation tool. We will not be using much effects in MS Excel. Okay, but some graphs may require effects, whereas we are not bothered of it. Then margins, orientation, size, print area, basic, background, and print titles. All these are covered under page setup. We will go one by one. Margins can be separately chosen. Instead of Alt P S P, we choose Alt P S P, set the margins, set the paper orientation, and set header and footer in a single window, inside a single window, whereas they are separately given here. You can choose margins, or you can choose custom margins, which opens here, whereas we normally put a horizontally tick mark here. Okay. Therefore, it's not different from the tools we already use. Sir, Nagaraj, sir. Sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Inge. Then, after margins, you go to orientation. There are two major orientations. One is landscape, the other one is portrait. Width. When the width is larger, we call it landscape. When the height is larger, we call it portrait. Portrait or landscape. Normally, portrait means the picture of a person. A person standing is drawn in portrait format. Drawing showing a person in standing position is called a portrait. Whereas a picture showing natural scenery is called landscape. Natural scenery. Any drawing drawn for natural sceneries is called a landscape. Therefore, when the width becomes larger, we call it landscape because natural sceneries are better drawn in wide angles. Therefore, we use the higher width portion for landscape format. Okay, for drawings. Now, even for printing, we adopt the same terminology. Landscape is paper with width, larger width, and portrait is paper, the same paper with larger height. Okay, then we go on to size, paper size. You can choose any paper size, whereas we normally do it from the menu Alt PST. When we go to page setup, we have all these things put together in a single window. Okay, then print area. This is an important aspect which we did not cover till now. You can choose an area. I fill up a portion of the sheet and you just look at this. I fill up some random values equals rand star 10. Then I go on to fill up the entire area with the random numbers. Now I have a population of numbers, whereas I don't want all these numbers to appear in my print. They are available in the sheet, whereas I wish to restrict that up to columns D. I wish to print up to columns D and row 5. I wish to print a 5 by 5 matrix up to column D or E. I go up to column D, which is the fifth column, and go down to fifth row. Okay, I wish to print 5 columns, 5 rows. Okay, I can set the print area here. Set print area. I selected this portion. I have set this as the print area. Just press Ctrl P. Instead of looking at the entire sheet appearing over there, you have A, B, C, D, E up to E column 5 rows. Okay, whatever area you selected appears here. Whereas I wish to remove this selection. I want to print the entire sheet. Is it possible? Yes. Again, go to print area, then clear print area. Now you press Ctrl P. You get the entire sheet appearing ready for print. Whereas I have not given any other page setup, therefore the grid lines and other things do not appear. Okay. Do you follow this? You can set a customized portion for printing through set print area option. Okay. Then breaks. You can impose a break. Now you just look at this. I say, oh, margins horizontally. Then I press OK. I press Ctrl P. You see that the entire table is appearing in a single page. Whereas I wish to make it appear in two different pages. I wish to impose a what? A forced page break. A forced page break. It's possible. Wait. Control A, Alt H B A for grid lines. Okay. I wish to make a break at row number 10. It's possible. How to do this? You press here, you go to page layout, insert breaks, you go to breaks, insert page break, insert page break. After inserting page break, you will see that there is a line drawn here. I press Ctrl Z, there is no line here. Don't you follow this? Then I press upon this 11, column number 11, sorry, row number 11. Then press set page break, page layout, breaks, insert page break. After pressing this, you see that there is a line appearing. There is a horizontal line appearing here. This makes sure that only 10 rows are printed in the first page and the remaining portion goes to the second page. Do you follow this? You can set a forced page break through insert page break. Whereas now I wish to remove this. I want everything to appear in a single sheet. I don't want break in the 10th row. Can I remove this? Yes. Go to row number 11. Press upon this row number. See what happens. When I press upon this row number, the entire row seems to be chosen. Now you go to breaks, then remove page break. Done. You will see that the horizontal line is gone. And when you press Ctrl P, the entire sheet appears as a single page print. Okay, you can insert a page break if you wish at any location. Okay, through page layout, breaks, insert page break. Okay, it's a fourth page. Okay, done. We have seen two important things which are not normally covered. One is to set the print area. You can set a customized area for printing, or you can remove the set print area option through clear print area. Then break. You can insert a forced page break. We have already used it in MS Word. When creating book, we wanted to insert odd page breaks. We did odd page breaks often when we wanted to switch the chapter. For the next chapter, we used to insert odd page break. Similar to that, you can insert a page break in MS Excel. Okay, then background color. You can choose whatever background you wish to apply for the entire sheet from file, Bing search or OneDrive personal. I don't want to go online and do all these things. You can set any background image. Okay, then print titles. What are the print titles? You have already seen that rows to appear at top when you print. some you just look at this. I'll create the situation in which the sheet goes beyond the first page and the title is not shown. I'll show you how this happens. I'm copying and pasting this formula and I have created a large sheet. Okay. Whereas I wish to insert a title here. There is no title. Whereas I insert a title here, I insert rand1, first random number, rand2, rand3, rand4, rand4, rand5, and rand6. Rand6. Okay. Now I make it bold and everything else. Bold, center, middle, wrap text. All these styles applied, and then I would insert a couple of borders, Alt H B A for inserting all borders. Done. When I press Ctrl B, the first page appears with the rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. This is the title. Whereas I go to the second page, I see that no title appears here. Okay, whereas I wish to get the title in the second page also. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. I have to go to layout menu, then print titles, repeat rows to repeat at top. You choose this one, then choose this row, press enter, then press print. See what happens. You see the title at the first page. Go to second page. You see the same title repeated. Don't you follow this? Where did I get this title option? It's available under print titles, and then I press this one. I press this one. Choose the first row or second row, any number of rows. Then press enter. String 1 colon string 1. Then press print preview and you will see that you get the same heading on every new page. Okay, the first row is repeated on every new page. You can also choose to repeat some columns in all the pages. Choose columns to be repeated at the left. You may choose to repeat the first column at the left wherever you go. You see that the first column, rand 1, would be repeated wherever we go. Okay, whereas I don't see the column appearing for the second time. It gets printed. Simple. Okay, then I remove this column. Normally we do not print the column on every row. New column is not printed on every row, whereas each new page gets a caption. First row is repeated in each new page. Okay, have you started sleeping? Everyone appears to be so calm and so attentive. It means have some fatigue. Okay, ma. Instead of going through all these things separately, you can press this or press Alt P S P and control all these aspects from this single menu. Page. You choose orientation here, portrait or landscape. Then page layout. Then margins. You can choose margins from here. You can set the footer and header here. Then sheet option. Whatever we have seen there appears here. Okay, therefore, all these things can be controlled from this single menu. From this single menu, you can control everything, how the document appears. Okay, now, shall we stop here or go further? Scale to fit. This is also an option known to us. We have already used fit to 1 pages tall by 1 pages wide and saw that everything fits within a single page. What we saw as a document with 2 pages now fits into a single page. You can choose to fit any document inside given number of pages. Okay, instead I can choose to fit the entire document inside fit to 2 pages wide by 1 pages tall. 1 pages wide by dash pages tall. This will help us to fit the width and allow any number of pages to appear. You can remove the number of pages. Tall, in tall you remove the number of pages. However wide the document may be, it will be fit into one single sheet. Then number of pages will go on increasing. Okay, beyond this I don't wish to go. These are very easy things. Print. When I press print upon this, print headings upon this, Control P. See what happens. Just I'll remove the Alt H B N, no border. I offer no border, Control P. Whereas even after removing all the borders, I see borders here. Don't you see borders here? It's because I have placed a tick mark here, grid lines. Okay, normally tick mark in view is ticked. Now you see nothing. You just see it's a plain sheet, no grid lines appear. Normally this view tick mark is already there, therefore the lines appear. Then heading tick mark also is there, that is the reason why A, B, C, D and 1, 2, 3 column names and row numbers appear. Now the same may be made to appear during printing. You press a tick mark here, press Ctrl P, you see that the grid lines are automatically shown, whereas they are not so dark. They will be a bit lighter. When we insert our own grid lines, we will be seeing that the lines are thicker. Okay. Then instead of this, I can place a print tick mark here. See what happens. A, B, C, D and row number 1, 2, 3 are repeated. Whereas these are not normally done. These are not normally required. Okay. Shall we go to arrange menu or stop here? When we finish arrange, everything will be properly finished. Okay. Shall we draw a graph for the value shown here? We will insert a chart and show how to arrange objects. We will insert one scatter diagram, one bubble diagram. This is random number. Therefore, nothing is clear. Everything appears as a shabby set of lines. Then I go to insert. I insert a bubble chart. I will insert a new bubble chart. I'll insert another bubble chart. The bubbles are not clearly visible. Rand. Okay. These two are appearing here, whereas the first line has gone below the second one. The bubble chart seems to look. I wish to bring this one up. The first line should come up. I wish to bring it up. I go to page layout, then arrange, bring forward. You press bring forward, then bring forward. See what happens. Whereas now I have changed my mood. I wish to send it back. You press send backward. It goes behind. Okay. You can arrange objects by sending them forward or to backward positions through this menu. Then selection pane. Whatever objects you have can be seen through the selection pane and can be hidden sometimes. You press upon this I mark. It's hidden whereas available. You again press upon this I mark, it appears. Similar to that, you press upon this I, the second chart is gone. Press upon this I, the second chart appears. All these are trivial things. Whereas it's okay. Then align. Snap to grid, snap to shape, snap to, this is more alignment options appearing. You can choose something to snap to the grid. I choose the second chart, then I align, snap to grid. Then I can snap it to, snap the other one also to grid. See what happens when I snap it to any grid, it goes along with the grid line. It matches with the grid line. Snapped. It snapped to the nearest grid line without much effort. I move this. When I go to the proper position, it gets properly sticking to the corner. Otherwise, it may go somewhere. It may go somewhere and remain there. When I press this option, snap to grid line, I can easily place it in line with any grid line. Okay, aligned to the nearest grid line. You just look at this. Without much effort, I can place it in the corner. When I do not snap it, I remove this, then I can place it anywhere. It does not offer any resistance. Do you see the difference in movement? Previously, it was moving in steps, whereas now it moves continuously. I can place it anywhere. It does not resist me. Whereas in the previous case, it was moving in steps. I press this one, then I move this. You see how it moves. It moves in steps. It moves in permitted steps. Okay. Then you can group certain objects similar to MS Word. I press control click. I have control clicked all these two, and then I can group them together. I can group these two charts together. Any number of charts or images can be grouped together. After grouping them, wait. Why they don't do? Why they don't do? Wait. After grouping them, I can drag them and drop them anywhere together. They appear together. They are tied together. Okay. When I drag one chart, the other one also follows the chart. This is grouping. Whereas I don't want to remain grouped. I can press ungroup and this chart becomes grouped. Still okay. I have pressed ungroup. Now this chart has become separate and the other one can move on its own. They become separate. Okay, you can group them together, you can ungroup them. We have seen everything inside the page layout menu. We have seen that there is page layout. There are themes, font, color, and other settings. Then page setup, margins, alignment, and then fit to print selection, setting print area, removing print area, and then repeating columns or rows at the top or at the left. Then we have seen that arrange objects is possible. You can bring an object up or you can send an object back, or you can align to grid line, group them or ungroup them, or even rotate them. You can rotate a chart. If you select the chart or any object, you can rotate, whereas it allows rotation of images. It's hidden. It's not enabled. Okay, therefore I cannot rotate it. Then you can choose to print grid lines and you can choose to print the column names and row heading. With this, we stop theory. We have covered up to page layout menu in MS Excel. We have taken a bit longer time today because this class, after this class, we may not be having theory classes for the rest of this month. We'll be revising theory portions. We will not be having new theory portions. Therefore, we close with the page layout menu in MS Excel. We will come to formulas, data, review, view, design, and other menus later on. Okay. I don't save this. I close it. Then we go to practice. Shall we take a break? You may take a break.